Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the next episode of American Horror Stories Season 1, and what I believe is the penultimate episode of this season. Because there was a few places that said 7 episodes, there's a few places that said 16 episodes, but I think with Season 10 of American Horror Story starting in the next couple of weeks, I believe next week will be the last episode. Last week we watched Bar Al, which I loved. I thought that was really good. It revolved around Billie Lourd, a woman who wanted a child, and was given the chance to have a child through not the normal means with this aid of this fertility god, and a lot went down when she was losing the plot. This demon kept appearing and all this stuff, and the long and short of it was that it turned out her husband was behind all of it. Husband and her friends were making it all up to make her go crazy so they can get her money because she was rich. And then at the end there was an amazing twist where it all backfired and they got killed, and she was like badass witch mama with a demon that was impregnating her, and she was in that jail prison place with the big hat and like looking all sexy, and I loved it. I thought that was great. I'd love to see more of that character, but I really enjoyed the last episode. It seems like it was the most popular episode of the show so far, which I'm really hopeful for, because I want this show to do well, because I want there to be a second series, because I love anthology shows. This episode is called Feral. I don't know anything about the storyline, although I think I read somewhere it's about camping, because I didn't watch any of the trailers when it came out. I wanted to be as blind as possible, but I'm sure when I was looking at something, I read something about a camping trip. But Feral says to me they might find someone who's been living in the woods for all their life, and they are now feral, or it could be about a feral animal, which might be like a werewolf or something, or just like a feral animal in the woods that tries to attack them, us against an animal sort of situation, or whether it's going to be about people that turn feral for some reason as well. But I'm excited to see if the American Horror Story cast are in it, who's in it that we know, if anyone's in it that we know, and just to see if it's as good as the last one. Hopefully it's going to hold up the streak. I'm recording this a few days after it aired. It's the first chance I've had to watch it. I don't know any reactions to it. I try my best to avoid looking at all sorts of things for it, so let's jump into the episode. If you enjoyed the video, please let me know down below in the comments what you thought, and there's a full-length reaction over on Patreon if you're interested in watching that. And yeah, please take a look at the Patreon anyway. It really just helps support the channel, helps me keep the lights running. Let's jump into Season 1, Episode 6 of American Horror Stories, Feral. Nice lake. Woods. Are we going Camp Crystal Lakey? Oh! Top. I genuinely, when I said that, I didn't even think that I've got the top on. And I looked over, I was like, oh shit, I'm wearing that top.
Representing a greedy-ass corporation, how they were even a firm before they hired me is
Was he the
mystery that will haunt me.
contractor from the first episode, second episode?
Work was off limits, remember?
Yeah, you said you're going to be positive about this.
I said that because I love you. And we're not technically at the campsite yet, remember?
I'm not a big fan of camping either.
Also, 4,000 years of progress happened, so we wouldn't have to sleep in the woods.
We're not just sleeping in the woods. This is about experiencing nature.
I like the idea of camping, like say, being close to nature, being in a forest, by a lake, fishing, toasting marshmallows. It's all great. It is just
What do you say, buddy?
bugs and shit that I don't
Excited to go
like.
camping?
I want TV.
Wow. Tough jury.
Who wants to go in the special?
It's all very cute, which means something bad's about to happen. I can't see, what was it? Was there something stood there?
So cute.
That's not a noise you want to hear in the woods.
It's just something else to ignore while I rip your clothes off.
The child's right there, don't do that. Oh, sugar butties.
This is my Boy Scout compass.
This is going to be important.
You be careful.
Sure.
All right. All right, let's do it. If my name were Jacob, where would I be? I don't know. Oh. That was a good one, bud. Hey, don't run off too far.
Setting up this really cute hide and seek. So that's going to jump out maybe at some point. If it's following standard horror tropes. What's that? Oh.
Jacob!
Here we go.
Jacob!
Here we go.
Boom! Jacob! Jacob!
Oh god.
Jake, where's Jacob?
I can't find him.
What?
I can't find him anywhere. He was here, we were playing, and then he was gone.
What are you talking
I can't
about?
find him
What?
anywhere.
Jacob! Jacob!
Jacob!
Now the question then becomes, did he disappear because he was kidnapped? Did he get lost? Was it supernatural? Is it all human? Even if it is nothing supernatural, it's all just he got lost or he's feral or whatever. Nature's just scary. Like, you can go so far into the woods and just never be found again. That scares the crap out of me. 10 years later.
Gantz?
That's me.
Bob Birch. We need to talk.
Bob Birch.
And you need to fuck off. Tell Ziegler he can kiss my ass. I'm staying until my lease is up.
Oh.
Hold on. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm here because I have information about your son.
Ooh, it can't be so hard for a parent though. Your kids are missing for 10 years after literally just snapping out of existence.
When he disappeared, your son was carrying an old Boy Scout compass, ain't that right?
Yeah, his compass.
Well, I found this. Where the camera trap photo was taken.
Oh god. I'd be interested to know though, if the boy's been alive all this time, like, and he's feral, what is he like now?
Who are you?
I told you, I'm a hunter. Look at the photo. That boy is about the same age your son would be right now. You think that's a coincidence?
It's so obviously a scam. I can't believe you came all the way down here to put me through this again.
Will you at least look at the photo?
No, I will not look at the... I cannot keep having my heart ripped out over and over and over.
I always feel bad for, like, when we see it in the news, like, kids have gone missing, the amount of, like, fake tips and leads, especially in today's world, people will just send stuff in just for laughs.
I need to find our son.
It's gonna be so
Gone.
heartbreaking.
Jay, he's gone. He got lost and drowned or froze to death or an animal ate him.
Maybe it's a scam, maybe I'm an idiot, but I can't ignore this.
It's known as the Malvados. It's where the trail cam photo was snapped. It's a good 10 clicks from here.
It's
Most of the
beautiful.
Trail. Need to be at the growers' camp before sunset or we're in the shit. Let's go.
I would hate to know what's in there though. Tribes, people, animals.
I never blamed you, Jay, ever. Not once. You needed to believe I did. You needed to sink into your little pit of hell and punish yourself. And where you went, there wasn't room for anyone else.
What do you think I wanted the last 10 years?
Well, you surely didn't want anything else.
Hey.
Oh,
This ain't no
God.
fucking marriage retreat. I'm not sure as hell ain't Dr. Phil. Come
It
on.
seemed like they approached it quite healthily though. Yes, they broke up.
Great plan, Jay.
But like, normally you would say one of them would blame the other. Like, she would blame him, you were with him, he disappeared. And she said, like, I never blamed you once. That's a really healthy approach, even though... What's that? The fuck was that? That scared the shit out of me. There was two of them.
Good day.
Cody Fern.
Folks headed.
We're just hiking the trails. Me and my... just getting out of the city.
Here to find our son.
Your son.
Yep. You know who we are, don't you?
Recognize you from the news.
Why is he
We
so
have reason to believe
peed
our
off?
son's still alive. We're headed up into those hills. Malvados.
Jesus Christ, Birch, what are you telling these people? Look, the Malvados is nowhere you want to go.
We know about the growers.
Is the accent naturally
Talking
Australian?
about the growers. There are things in those canyons a million times worse than the growers.
What? What's in the canyon?
This is what I was afraid of. We don't have to listen to this. Let's go.
No, I'm sorry. I want to hear. I want to hear this.
There's nothing to hear, honey. It's a bunch of bullshit.
Well, I got part of an answer.
Wait, so you're saying whatever this thing was, it was carrying our son?
Well, I can't legally say what it is that I saw or what it was carrying, but I know I saw something. Something you don't want to mess with.
Yeah, well, thank you for telling us what you legally can't say. But I think we've heard enough.
Oh. God.
Oh my god.
Help us!
Yeah, find out about our son.
Your son?
Yes, our
Who
son.
is this
the
guy?
whole reason we're here.
I don't have the first clue where your son is. Never did. That photo I showed you, that was my nephew. I shot that in the backyard. And then the compass. I bought that at the Salvation Army store and dirtied it up. And so I made a
What a
deal with
horrible
these poor fucks.
person.
I get 10 grand, and then they make you disappear, and then in return they get your credit cards, and
What?
your ATM cards, and then I go back and I say we got separated.
That guy's gonna come to life and kill him.
Do this, and I can't just let you walk out of here. I told you I was gonna reunite you with your boy, and now you're gonna see him.
There we go. Ooh, gross. Blah, blah, blah. Oh. So maybe they're just cannibals that lived in the woods. There's nothing supernatural going on. Maybe.
It wasn't dead. It attacked Bert. It bit his neck.
All right, folks. Do you know if they followed you? You're better off not knowing. Can't tell you even if I wanted to.
Why?
Not allowed.
Why?
Not allowed. Those are the rules.
Rules.
What are you, a fucking parrot? Hey, man, fuck you and your rules.
Okay, Jay.
Get a shotgun.
National park system wasn't created to preserve the country's natural beauty.
Okay. To hide
was
tests.
it created for?
Subjects.
To keep Americans from things that would kill and eat them. I call them feral nation. Or a subpopulation of humans that live in the deep woods like animals. History and old newspaper articles, they were known as wild men. And I was grafted onto the Bigfoot myth. A lot of Bigfoot sightings of these things.
You said eat them. These things eat people?
Yeah, whenever they can, they go cannibal.
I believe there's things like this that actually happen, exist. People that just live in the forest and...
There are pockets of these things in every national park. Over 2,000 people have vanished from the parks over the years.
When the government just knows all about this and keeps it a secret.
Oh, governments need their citizens to believe they're in control. Plus, national parks generate billions of dollars in revenue every year. It's capitalism, baby.
Government keeps a lot of stuff hidden from
Cannibals
us.
running around, attendance might drop off. Whenever there's an incident, these units are called in for population control.
Oh, okay. Keep them
Finding killers in Many
contained.
of the ferals
Right.
as possible. Those soldiers weren't on a rescue mission, they were on a hunt.
This is crazy.
Soldiers can be cocky bastards. Sometimes they forget they weren't dealing with animals. They were dealing with something else.
I'm getting vibes of The Descent. Whoa. Yeah, very Descent-y for sure. For someone who's got this like really important responsibility to keep this thing contained, report any problems, he's very lax about the whole thing. Like surely like the first thing you'd do when you heard about it is like, right, ring them now.
AC Region 12 to INF Forest North. Come in.
This is Forest North. Go ahead, Casey.
Forest North, we got a situation here. We're gonna need a...
I can barely see. Oh my god! I don't like that. That really freaked me out. You look cool though. Awesome. I don't like that one. Is that the sun? Oh my god, it's like the guy from Resident Evil 4! Who's ever played it, you know what I'm talking about. Oh my god. That could be the sun. They look so cool. Visually, they are fantastic. You're never going to get away just by running. There's just no way. Oh, So scary. Okay. Hi, son.
Jacob. Jacob.
Well,
You busy boy.
It's interesting that he's like their leader. Oh. I was hoping they'd survive. Well, that was a dark ending, I presume. Oh my god. Okay, guys, that was my reaction to Season 1, Episode 6 of American Horror Stories Feral. And there was elements of the episode that I loved, really loved, really loved. Elements of it that I didn't like. So let's start with like the negatives, because I don't want to like end on a sour note. The main issue I had with this episode was the pacing. The pacings felt so off to me. And now, don't get me wrong, it was a 39-ish minute episode looking at the runtime. So they had to fit a lot into a very short space of time. And that can be very difficult for a one and done standalone episode. And sometimes I think when they do it really well, like Baal, yes, that was like 10 minutes longer, I think it was brilliant. And this episode could have done with being longer, but also elements I would have taken out. So the main issue I had with the pace was we went really fast at the beginning. Family, cold open, son goes missing. 10 years later, we're back at the forest. Guy's going to help us. He's dead. Boom. And then when we get to like the cabin, the Ranger Lodge, where the guy is basically explaining what was going on, it felt like the pace just stopped dead. Now, whereas like the start was going really fast, really quickly, so when it was like, oh, we're in that thing, oh, I betrayed you, oh, I made a deal to get the money, and I'm dead now, that was like, whoa, okay, that came out of nowhere, that was really sudden. They didn't build up a lot of the forest enough. Like, I would have loved to see a lot more of, when they did that shot, when we panned past the tree, and the guy was behind it, and the other one was like on the stump, or whatever, in front of them, I would have done a bit more of that, bit more of, we're being followed, they're being watched, creepy images where they're camouflaged. I would have done that. Then I would have done the betrayal. There's a little spider up there. And then, I don't know, it was, but when I got to the lodge, the pace just stopped dead for me. Like, don't get me wrong, it was interesting that we found out it was being kept secret by the government. Interesting stuff, but it was a lot of exposition for about 5 to 10 minutes of just watching people talking on the most part. And whilst it's important information, it just killed the pace. But then the last 5-ish minutes from when the guys burst into the lodge and that guy was up on the top above that ranger, all the empty stuff was great. Loved it. Really liked it. But we'll get to that. But yeah, so the pacing for me was just fast paced, really slow. Really good ending. So it was just a little uneven, a little hard to get on board. Now, I think a big part of that is the runtime. They had 40 minutes, thereabouts, to get everything they wanted to do in there. The bits that, like I say, I would have put in, more of the creepiness, more of the camouflaged feral creatures, more of that, then do the betrayal. Quick bit of exposition, fantasy of the hour, boom, let's get attacked and get killed, or whatever. I wouldn't have done the ending the same way, but on the most part, I liked what they did with it. The good stuff in this episode, the feral creatures, oh my god, they were cool. They were so cool. So creepy, really good visuals. I definitely want to see more of them. And it gave me a lot of vibes of things like Wrong Turn, Hills Have Eyes, The Descent. Those are horror films I love. I love that kind of stuff. I love Wrong Turn, for example, like Cannibals, In the Woods. Now they're a product on that film of, I think, nuclear fallout. But there is like inbreeding and all that kind of stuff, and I think that's really cool. Visually interesting to see the family dynamics of these creatures, these cultures, because there are cultures in the world that do exist. Don't ask me where, I don't know, but I can only imagine that there's people like this in the world somewhere, deep in the depths of some forest in some country, somewhere far away from here, there's got to be these people that are like cannibalistic and are inbred and do live like this, and it's kind of cool, but also really scary, really dark. So I like these creatures, these family essentially of people. I think it's really interesting that they kidnapped this kid and then made him their leader. I would have liked to know why he was the one in charge. That would have been good to know. Like, I can see them kidnapping people because whilst inbreeding does mean that there are more children over the years, it's not instantaneous. There are also a lot of medical problems and also a lot of death with inbreeding because it's not the natural way of things in some ways. Like, it's harder just for genetics and DNA and stuff, and there's a lot more problems with inbred people when they're so close. Now, you can argue we all date back to the same gene pool, blah, 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 so we are inbreeding, but we're that far removed now that there's less issues. But so I can see them kidnapping a new child for, like, we kidnap kids when we find them, let's kind of carry on the family line, whatever. But it's interesting that they made him the leader. I'd love to know why. But that's, again, when the pacing of this episode, there were some really cool bits, like, why is the kid the leader? Why? But we never find out. And I was hoping that the kids would let the parents survive, because I liked the parents, I found them quite believable. Another good thing about the episode, the acting was really strong all the way around. I liked the characters, I liked the main couple, I thought they were really believable as a couple that were strained, had divorced over this kid stuff, and now I'm trying to find him again, but it's not easy. I believed it, I thought it believable. And also that guy's quite hot, you know, the one that was the father, because he's the one I think from Rubber Woman, who was the contractor. But yeah, I like their performances. I liked Cody Fern's performance. The guy who was the one that lied to them and got them onto the trip annoyed me, but played the part pretty well because he was meant to be annoying and a bit of a douche. But he played that part pretty well. But mainly the actors of the feral people were so good. I love that kind of stuff. And maybe that's just as a horror fan that I like middle of the woods, creepy horror films, like the ones I've mentioned, like Friday the 13th, even though it is obviously a different sort of thing. A Monster in the Woods, Cabin in the Woods, you know, what's that one, Cabin Fever. But anything set in the woods is cool, but like feral creatures like Hills Have Eyes, elements of things like that, and Wrong Turn, I love all that kind of stuff. So as soon as we saw all these creatures in good detail, I was like, I am invested, I am on board, I love this. I like the fact they've got a community, they've got some sort of structure, they have a leader who's the son. It was so good, the visuals of that were great. And I like the fact that the kid was still alive, that was going on long. When it became about, like, possible trafficking, I didn't really like that storyline. I thought that would be a bit boring. And then the government cover-ups, I was like, I don't mind there being elements of that, but the creepy stuff's got to be strong. And it was. I want to see more of them. I want horror films about these people, because I want to see the visuals. Like, there were some cool looking people. The one that was crawling all over the floor, the tall bald guy with a beard who looked like the dude from Resident Evil 4. I'll put a picture up of him so you know who I'm talking about. He looked cool. I just wanted to see more of these people, their structure, maybe find an explanation as to why the kid's in charge, and just their life. I want to know more. Maybe that's a really morbid part of my psyche that wants to see about these things. Sad that the parents died, but I like the little ending where he did the thing with the blood. That was obviously similar to, was it where he had the thing in the drink at the beginning? I saw the callback. Yeah, I like that episode. Not the strongest. I think Bart Owl's definitely stronger than this one, but I did really enjoy it. I need to have a think because the pacing was just a little weird for me. I might rewatch it before I do my ranking at the end of the season, because I had some really strong stuff, and I don't just want to go, I love the monsters, it was so cool, so creepy, love it. That shot where he was on the ceiling above him, that's some of my favourite shit in horror films. I love that. When there's a monster in the background, you don't really spot it straight away, and then your eyes kind of focus on it, you're like, oh shit, there's something there. Love that. And the episode really reminded me of, if anyone's watched X-Files, there's an episode called Detour in season 5, I want to say. I mentioned this in when I watched X-Files, but also other stuff, and it's about Mulder and Scully investigating these deaths in the woods, or disappearances in the woods, can't remember, but the creature that was doing it was this, like, camouflaged person, almost, monster, and you'd see it, like, it would pan across, like, a log or something, or some trees, and it would take a while until you spotted that there was someone sat there. I loved all that kind of stuff, so it kind of gave me vibes of that, and some of the horror films that I love. And I hope you enjoyed it too. Like I say, good, some really strong elements here. It just felt rushed at parts, slow at parts. and I felt like it could have done with a bit of a rewrite, taking out a bit of the exposition, make some more creepy stuff leading up to the attack, and then get very quickly from the attack to the lodge to the ambush at the end. I think that would have worked better. Or we just seen them get an exposition whilst also seeing elements of the people sneaking in to get onto the ceiling. That kind of stuff. I just think they could have reworked elements of it to make it a lot scarier, but little bits that they did really work so strongly. Hope that makes sense. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. As always, my name is Scott. Hope you guys are well. Take care of yourselves, stay safe. If you enjoyed the video, let me know down below in the comments what you thought. I hope you liked it, because I liked it overall. I had some issues, but I thought it was pretty cool. But it did hit a lot of those horror tropes that I like when he was like pointing the gun at them and backing up towards the guy on the whatever he was sat on. I was like, if it's following horror tropes, he's still going to be alive. He's going to wake up and kill them. And he did. But yeah, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all very soon for the final episode of Season 1 of American Horror Stories, which I'm not going to lie, I'm not looking forward to, because I believe I read somewhere that it's another Murder House episode. Now, out of 7 episodes, 3 Murder House episodes, not okay with that, but I'll address it when we get to the next episode. Thanks for watching. Take care. I'll see you all very soon for the final episode. Bye, guys. Stay safe.